Ada orang bilangin katanya banyak anak muda di sini dan semangat kerja, banyak sama orang muda juga. Ini pelan-pelan bahasa Indonesia-nya. Sudah lama tadi si Oliver translate itu bingung. Soalnya on one hand bahasa Inggris udah bisa, cuman pas udah ngobrol, kayaknya suaranya kenal juga dari bahasanya, jadi bingung palanya. Tapi hampir 50 languages bisa jadinya. Jadi mix, jadi pusing. Si William juga pusing dari itu. Speak, putar-putar balik. Anyway, so pas Baron tanya buat anak muda, ini bukan buat sermon kan? Enggak, oke, ini diskusi itu. Oke, jadi ini lebih bagus. Aku sukanya small group punya diskusi juga. Jadi perlu Bible, kalau ada Bible atau ada teleponnya. I think I saw William, you have blue letter Bible. Yeah, we use that a lot too. So if you have blue letter Bible di app, bisa buka. Cuman kita terima kasih banget kalian semua share yang punya personal story-nya gitu. Ada yang I'm hearing a common thread, boleh nggak apa-apa bahasa Inggris? Oke, apa bisa? Oke, common thread tadi ada miripnya, ada mirip-mirip gitu. Satu mirip nggak mau tinggal kehilangan yang loved ones, yeah, which is understandable because it's hard. We've lost some people, but we also have that hope. Jesus is coming, and they will be raised again. There's that great hope that we often sing about. But ada juga tadi takut tadi kalau salah kayak bisa trust kita sendiri, bisa hilang Yesus. Jadi masalah juga. Aku juga takut gitu. Masalahnya kalau bisa khotbah gini-gini, bisa busy gitu buat ministry, cuma nggak cari Yesus. Itu dia masalahnya sampai kan pastor juga bisa tes, bisa susah. Sometimes busyness-nya jadinya yang kita bikin gitu, cuma nggak mau attentive sama dengar sama Tuhan Yesus, belajar sendiri buat sendiri. Sometimes that's my challenge as well. So hari ini the title is how to face giants in our lives. Ada banyak giants, ada fears juga. But sometimes itu kayak situasi itu. Cuma mau tanya di sini yang masih di SMA, ada ada semua di sini ada yang universitas. Ada sebagian masih belajar, maksudnya masih belajar gitu. Masih belajar, ada sebagian, ada yang udah semua kerja semua. Oh, hampir semua kerja semua ya.
Kedua kuliah.
Semua udah bebas kerja? Kuliah cuma di oke. That's good for me to know. Okay, so there's ada satu orang namanya Richard Branson. Dia is an English businessman. How many of you know who that is? Richard Branson. Dia dapetin dia punya company namanya, I tell you, you will know right away. Virgin Group. Yeah. You know Virgin Group?
Yes,
Virgin America, Virgin
Airlines company.
But you didn't know it. Now it actually, I don't know if you know this, it's a global industry. Tadinya bukan minyak travel industry, dia cuma ini a rental company gitu. Terus dia bikin juga airlines biasanya sama space person company. Yeah, yeah. So he owns, dia ada punya rumah juga di luar negeri. Dia udah bikin banyak a number of different things that he's done. Di tahun 2000 Maret dia dinaikkan jadi Sir Branson as his services and contribution to entrepreneurship. Jadi kayak direkognize aja gitu. Kenapa mau kasih tahu ini? Karena dia bilang dia tadi interview sekali, dia tanyain how do you accomplish so much? His answer kinda interesting jadinya. he says if someone offers you an amazing opportunity, you say yes, you can do it later. I mean, you can figure it out later. Kind of interesting ya. Sometimes bisa jalan kan begitu, bisa yes, tapi dicari gimana caranya gitu. Sometimes it doesn't work out. I have to be honest. Sometimes it doesn't work out for me. Even if I say yes, okay, I'm gonna learn how to play this. Gak bisa learn dia punya instrumennya juga kecewa gitu kan. But nevertheless, it's interesting. But his spirit is there. Like he's like, it's a go-getter for sure. Masuk say yes first and figure it out. Cuman ada cerita lagi di Bible, ada tahu cerita ada anak laki-laki with a similar spirit. You know David, right? So we're going to take a look at the story. You know the story. He was a shepherd boy. He fought a giant, a Goliath. Here's the thing. I grew up with the story. Semua mungkin grew up juga story-nya di Sabbath School kan, atau di mana gitu sama belajar. So today we're going to take a look at the story differently. So kalau ada Bible-nya, kita buka ke 1 Samuel 17. 1 Samuel 17. Kita baca dari 11 sebentar. Nah, I would say that David punya bahasa Inggris, Daud punya story. It's a story of the power of the story of yes. Karena dia say yes. Kita lihat di mana dia bilang yes. Because I don't know if you know this, he volunteered to fight Goliath. Jadi pas tadi ceritanya kita baca, cuman pada pas ditanya-tanyain ada yang mau volunteer atau enggak, nggak ada semua yang mau volunteer. Cuma volunteer say, David masuk, I'll fight him, I'll fight him. His reason is different too. It's worth knowing. Nanti kita baca. Let's see. Biar nggak lama, kita dulu ya. I mean, well, okay. Let's baca dulu. Cuman let me read you ini Ibrani 11:1. Baca bahasa Inggrisnya nggak apa-apa. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. I think Daud understood this, even though you may not know the outcome. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. David was convinced and convicted that God would indeed come through in every situation, especially when there's no point of return, and God needed to intervene. Sometimes kita main safe aja, at least in my experience, main safe to the point that we're not taking any risk. We're not putting ourselves in situations where God doesn't need to intervene. Yeah? Bisa follow? Yeah. But David said yes and followed God to the point he needed God to intervene. That's the kind of faith he had. Gak ada wiggle room gitu. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows it's a death wish when you sign up to fight Goliath at the time. But you left room for God to step in. So David, let me share one more quote that I found from Ellen White's writing that I like saying in terms of what she says about faith. Faith is an assent of the understanding to God's words. Now the word assent, the meaning there is it's approval, agreement. Kayak stamp of approval. So she's saying is like faith is us saying yes, grabbing on saying yes to God's word, to the Bible, to God's words, which binds the heart in willing consecration and service to God. Who gave the understanding, who moved on the heart, who first drew the mind to view the Christ on the cross of Calvary. Before all of that happens, faith is us assenting. That's an ancient English word, assenting, saying yes to God. It's our rendering, it's our abandonment or our mind and will to God. And it's our, really, the word is surrender. Yeah. There ada saying gitu, if Jesus is not our Lord of all, as in kalau Tuhan Yesus itu nggak Tuhan semuanya di akhirat hidup kita, then maybe Jesus is not Lord at all. Because the invitation is, dia bilang come follow me kan, but it will eventually lead to us total surrender to Him. It will always eventually lead us to total surrender. That's what in essence. Okay, let's read 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 1. 1 sampai 3. Satu-satu aja. Siapa yang mau? Ayam dong.
Orang Filistin berkumpullah kata lainnya untuk berperang. Mereka berkumpul di Soko yang tanah di Yehuda dan bertemu antara Soko dan mereka di Efes dan Gatra. Saul dan orang-orang Israel juga berkumpul dan berkemah di lembah Tabari. Mereka mengatur barisan perangnya berhadapan dengan orang Filistin. Orang Filistin berdiri di bukit sebelah sini dan orang Israel berdiri di bukit sebelah sana, dan lembah ada di antara mereka.
Philistines on the south kan, di bawah, terus Israel on the north. There's just ada history-nya itu deh. Itu juga, cuman aku nggak mau kalian punya history-nya. Aku cuma mau point out, mereka di valley itu, di valley Elat. Kalau mau serang, mesti turun ke bawah dulu, baru naik atas lagi. Jadi kayak ke suicide plan gitu. There's risk. So, and back then, it's wise if you send one person. So there is a reason as to why they send their greatest warrior. I had to study it, why they did this. You know, some people offer explanations, but yeah, there's a reason why they send one. Because you want to avoid casualties, nggak bakal banyak yang mati, kan? Jadi satu. Let's read, continue on, verse ayat 4. Sorry.
Lalu tampillah keluar seorang pendekar dari tentara orang Filistin, namanya Goliat dari Gat, tingginya nahasta sejengkal.
Ayat 5. Sampai 7.
Dia memakai kaki yang tembaga dan di bawahnya yang memanggul lembing tembaga. Gagang tongkatnya seperti pesat yang berseru dan mata ombaknya itu emas 600 sekal besi beratnya, dan seorang pembawa perisai berjalan dengannya.
Nah, kalian pernah cari ini di equivalentnya di beratnya gimana? 1 shekel. Aku bikin homeworknya, cuman bikin convertnya di English. Aku kasih tahu, cuman aku mesti convert ke ini kali, ke meter. Iya. Jadi 9,5 feet. 9,5 feet. Nah, sampai mungkin Edward bisa cari. And he had basically a T-shirt that was 175 pounds. 175 pounds to kilogram berapa ya?
It's like half of it, like 350 kilos. And 5 feet is equals to 2.8 meters. 0.9. Almost 3 meters.
Kami 3 meter. Yes. Terus dia spearnya, dia ujungnya 25 pound, 50 kilo. Nah, aku nggak tahu gimana kan semuanya ada raih kami di sini. Cuman 50 kilo, 40-50 kilo dia punya ujung cuma spearnya aja. Ini emang gede sekali, gede. So just imagine yourself there and just 8 sampai 11.
Ia berdiri dan berseru kepada barisan Israel, katanya kepada mereka, mengapa kamu keluar untuk mengatur barisan perang? Bukankah aku seorang Filistin dan kamu adalah hamba Saul? Pilihlah bagimu seorang dan biarlah ia turun mendapatkan sedang. Gaya hambamu. Tapi jika aku dapat membunuh dia dan mengalahkannya, maka kamu akan menjadi hamba kami dan takut kepada kami.
Pula kata orang Filistin itu, aku menentang hari ini barisan Israel. Berikanlah kepadaku seorang supaya kami berperang sama melawan Syarif.
Verse 11.
Ketika Saul dan segenap orang Israel mendengar perkataan orang Filistin itu, maka cemaslah hati mereka dan sangat ketakutan.
Mereka sangat ketakutan. Siapa yang nggak mau takut ya kalau depan orang ini? Nah, dia gede, dia tuh gede ngomong juga, bisa taunting sama orang semuanya. Cuman ya banyak ini kan gede ngomongnya. Cuman did you notice? Oh, I'm gonna share. Aku cuma share aja gitu. Aku punya insights. Aku baca sama tadinya. Jadi kalau mudah-mudahan bisa diaplikasi gitu sama kita juga. That's my hope and prayer. I'm not an expert, obviously. We know the story, ya. Story punya Daud. Cuma did you notice how David enters the story talking about God instead? Ya, kita jump ke when everyone before we jump to verse 32, when everyone else is talking about the giant, the Goliath, David enters the story talking about God, which is kind of interesting for us. Kita bisa di-note gitu. Sometimes kita kalau ngomong ada giants kita takut apa gitu, atau dengar teman-teman ngomong giants kita end up cuma ngomong-ngomong sama buat giants aja doang ya. Oh takut ini. Cuman David datangnya ngomong buat Tuhan, bukan giants. Nah, verse 32 kita jump ke situ.
Berkatalah Daud kepada Saul, janganlah seorang menjadi tawar hati karena dia hambamu ini akan pergi melawan orang Filistin.
Dia volunteer kan?
Yes.
Dia sendiri yang volunteer. When no one else nggak ada yang mau step up, dia yang step up. That's the first point I want to point out. And that's interesting. Aku mau bilang, dia nggak bisa bilang begitu kalau dia nggak pernah bilang say yes sama Tuhan sebelumnya. Sometimes kita bisa di tempat places di mana gitu kan, aku nggak tahu profesi kalian di mana. I'm a firm believer that every one of us is needed in God's army. If you're an accountant, if you're a lawyer, atau pendeta, semuanya. Semua kita punya resources kita, semua kita punya talentanya, semua kita they're all needed. I just need to say sometimes orang-orang nggak pikirin gitu. So si David, where am I going with this? Sorry guys, I'm trying to translate here. David volunteers sendiri ya. That's the first point, and then but he couldn't have volunteered if he had not said yes to God in the first place. Now God had brought him there specifically in that place. It's largely because how God has led them. So the other point I was going to say is that you are exactly where you need to be. Kamu di sini memang exactly the reason why God wants you to be this tempat. Nggak tahu di mana tempatnya, cuman there is a purpose. Let's see, sorry guys, let's see translation. So David was fully convinced that God is with him. He already said yes to God before he said yes to fighting Goliath. Now let's jump over to verse 45. Ya, 45.
Tetapi Daud berkata kepada orang Filistin itu, "Kau mendatangi aku dengan pedang dan tombak dan lembing, tetapi aku mendatangi engkau dengan nama Tuhan semesta Allah, Allah segala barisan Israel yang kau tantang gitu.
Enggak, terus sampai 47.
Hari ini juga Tuhan akan menyerahkan engkau ke dalam tanganku, dan aku akan mengalahkan engkau dan memenggal kepalamu dari tubuhmu. Hari ini juga aku akan memberikan mayatmu dan mayat tentara orang Filistin kepada burung-burung di udara dan kepada binatang-binatang liar, supaya seluruh bumi tahu bahwa Israel mempunyai Allah, dan supaya segenap jemaah ini tahu bahwa Tuhan menyelamatkan bukan dengan pedang dan bukan dengan lembing, sebab di tangan Tuhanlah pertempuran, dan Ia pun menyerahkan kamu ke dalam tangan kami.
Powerful juga ya. Pasti orang cuma begitu bisa bilang sama kalian yang baru kita baca. I don't know if you've ever wondered, like, how can someone in their right mind actually say that? That's a powerful statement of faith. And it's only when someone actually had said yes to God first. What I mean by that is you have to be fully surrendered, fully consecrated, like David, to understand that and to be in that place. Terus dia punya, I think David understand that the battle, pertempuran itu was never ours to fight, bukan buat kita. Tuhan yang perang. That's the next important thing I was going to say. That's the next point. It belongs to God, and the victory also belongs with Dia. We are just the vessels. I think sometimes it's easy for us lupa to shift the focus. It's Him in working in us. Yeah. Sometimes when we, like Linda said, sometimes we underestimate. Apa bahasa Indonesia-nya? Meremehkan kita sendiri. Cuman masalahnya kalau remehkan kita sendiri, kita semua remehkan what God can do di dalam kita. We have to give more to ourselves in the sense of we can do it, especially when it comes to evangelism and being like what I said earlier, being in church. Sometimes we don't think about that. Memang udah capek, udah sore gitu-gitu. Cuman ya begitu. It belongs to God. And sama juga kalau ada apa aja masalah-masalahnya, whatever it is, the giants thing yang kita face, masalah kita yang bikin takut kita, it's not ours to fight. There is a text actually that I want to share. Kalau nggak salah Deuteronomy 31 verse 6. Keluaran. Genesis, Exodus, I think it's number 0. Imamat, thank you. Imamat 31:6. Cuma buat refer aja.
Imamat 31:6.
Ulangan. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Yang terakhir Musa punya buku.
Kuatkan dan teguhkan.
Yes.
Kuatkan dan teguhkan hatimu. Janganlah takut dan jangan gemetar karena mereka, sebab Tuhan Allahmu Dialah yang berjalan menyertai engkau. Ia tidak akan membiarkan engkau dan tidak akan meninggalkan engkau.
That's a powerful and a wonderful promise dari Tuhan. Ini yang kita bisa claim setiap hari, di mana aja kita masalahnya. Nah, it sounds familiar ya, karena Joshua berkata juga kan to the nation of Israel, be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. Jangan takut. Do not be fear and be dread of them. Siapa yang? It's Him. It's the Lord your God who goes with you. Dia nggak bakal tinggalin kita atau forsake kita. Sorry, bolak-balik. That's a beautiful promise that we need to remember. And I think Daud is the only person that remembered that promise. I mean, he knew that verse. He's the only one that knew the verse. Not just the verse, but he remembered outside from either camps. So if you're gonna ask what was it, apa yang bikin David itu Daud bikin berani kayak begitu, I would say it's his faith. Especially it's his faith in God. Faith in a God that dia bisa kemana aja, dia nggak bakal takut. Faith in a God that will fight dia punya battles buat dia. Nah, 3 observasi baru udah selesai. Yang first observasinya, David ada God's power behind.
Memiliki kuasa
Ada kuasa Allah di dalam.
Iya, Daud ada kuasa Tuhan di belakangnya. Nah, here's what I mean by that. Si Daud believed in God's power behind him because he had experienced it firsthand. He has seen it in the past. He was able to face a fearful present. Nanti bisa kamu bahasa Inggris? Kalau ada bisa bahasa Inggris? Okay. Fearful present because he remembered of God's power in the past.
Dia ingat bahwa Tuhan pernah punya kuasa sebelumnya.
Yeah. And I think we need to do the same. I think these are like lessons for us to remember in David's shoes. Dia face dia punya fearful present karena only dia remember God's power in the past. It's 1 Samuel 17:34-37. We called si Daud bilang sama King Saul that he had killed what? Dia bunuh apa? A bear, a lion, by the power of God, with nothing else than the staff and slingshot in his bare hands. I mean, that's pretty powerful. I don't know how small David was. Nggak tahu dia kecilnya di mana. When you kill a bear with a lion and a lion with the bare hands and a staff, he's not only smart, he's experienced defender in that sense. Yeah, bisa itu. But more importantly, it was God. It was the power of God that was with him. So I think verse 3:37, the Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine. You see the faith that he connects there? Because he remembered God's power that worked behind him, he can face whatever he may face in the future. That's the first one. Now, but let me ask you this question. Do you know why kita takut sama when we fear our giants? It's because we forget what we need to remember and we remember what we need to forget. I know it's a play on word by English. Cuman, ngerti gak? Kita ingatnya stuff yang dia nggak mesti nggak diikut, nggak diingat. Cuman nggak ingat stuff yang mesti diingat. Pasti kan? Jadi benar kan? Sometimes dia kayak begitu sama kita kan? At least my experience. For far too often kita ingatnya kita punya failures, masalah kita, than our victories. Kebenaran ya, thank you Pastor. Karena victories kita tuh mesti diingetin karena God yang got through all those victories, ya. Benar kan? If God did, you want to remember those. I would say, yeah, like no way that's gonna conquer me or tempt me. God's got me through all those things. He can deliver me through all these things that you are facing. Kalau kita lupa what God had done in our lives, and if we forget all the victories God had led us through, we are in danger of robbing God the opportunity what He can do in us. I would say it strongly like that. Kalau kita lupa, minta-minta kita lupa gitu, we're in danger ke steal sama God what He can do to in the future for us.
Menghilangkan kesempatan Tuhan untuk berbuat yang Dia sudah rencanakan.
Yes. Does that make sense? Does that make sense apa bro? Masuk akal ya? Ngerti kan? We have to remember, but we also have to acknowledge God. It is God at work. It is Him. He is fighting for us. He is behind us. He is going to work for us. I love this quote from Ellen White as well. We have nothing to fear for the future, except as we shall forget the way the Lord has led us in the past. Tahu quote itu? The led us in the past and His teaching in our past history. Ya, ada
Tahun baru biasanya.
biasa. Benar juga.
Mau tahun baru tuh.
Yes.
Kalau ini
But it's true though. It gives us a lot of insight where God's power is built. Second observation: David had God's presence next to him, beside him. When David was about to go fight Goliath, verse 37, he says, "Go and the Lord be with you." Saul said. It's interesting that Saul notices and acknowledges that their only hope is to fight Goliath and the Philistines is the presence of God. It's the same for us. You know, it's the presence of God is our only hope to fight our giants. Cuman it's interesting, cuman David yang was willing to fight Goliath. Kayak cuman David doang yang bisa trust that God is with us. Jadi, cuman dia yang believe. Yang semuanya takut. Perhaps no one else remembered that promise, but David, what Moses has said. Nah, dia juga Deuteronomy sama apa tadi? Buku Deuteronomy. Ulangan 20 1 dan 4. Si Musa udah bilang the promise of God concerning the rules of warfare.
Ulangan 20
Ayat 1 sama 4.
Apabila engkau keluar berperang melawan musuhmu dan engkau melihat kuda dan kereta, yakni tentara yang lebih banyak daripadamu, maka janganlah engkau takut kepadanya, sebab Tuhan Allahmu yang telah menuntut engkau keluar dari tanah Mesir menyertai engkau. Ayat 2. Apabila kamu menghadapi pertempuran, maka seorang imam harus tampil ke depan dan berbicara kepada rakyat. Ayat 3. Dengan berkata kepada mereka, dengarlah hai orang Israel, kamu sekarang menghadapi pertempuran melawan musuhmu, janganlah lemah hatimu, janganlah takut, janganlah gentar, dan janganlah gemetar karena mereka, sebab Tuhan Allahmu dialah yang berjalan menyertai kamu untuk berperang bagimu melawan musuhmu dengan maksud memberikan kemenangan kepadamu.
Also another promise, victory. We need to remember that God is the one who will fight on our behalf. Goliath had a shield and sword, an army, and an armor. All David had was God's presence, and that's all he needed. Because David understood that's something no one else understood on either side. The battle really belongs to the Lord. Sometimes kita think itu dia punya kita pada battles, it's ours to fight. Kita bisa kan fix dia punya kita strategi gimana bisa pintar-pintaran, ya pintar-pintaran kita. We need to realize it was never ours to fight. Apa problem apa kita bisa face. Don't forget that God has given us the Holy Spirit. That we can pray for these things that He would want us to ask for Him through prayer. Let's see. Oh, one point I want to point out. Kalau ini aku bisa include saja kali ya. Kalau kalian ada waktu baca 1 Samuel 17 itu semuanya. Kalau kalian count, if you just notice how many times does David talks about God in our passage, and how many times he talks about the giant, about Goliath. I did the math. Dia ngomong David 9 kali about God, 1 kali about giant and Goliath. So I can say that David thought about God 9 times more than he thought about the giant. You see the importance in that? Sometimes kita kalau di situation, kita bicaranya, ngomongnya, mikirnya giant terus, masalah ini, masalah itu, masalah gimana sih, itu nggak bisa gini, capek kan? Cuma David, notice he talks about God 9 times instead of 1. giant. I think kita, friends, we would face life differently kalau kita if we have our God thoughts more than our giant thoughts. That's the next one I want to mention. Like David, we can think about God more than we think about our giants. And then we can have this courage as well. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I think we need to realize that God is really with us. We don't have to takut sama apa aja. Last observation. Yeah. The first one tadi apa? God's power behind us. David has God's presence beside us. The last one, God had God's purpose before him, di depannya. See, David knew that there was always a purpose in what God is doing in his life. Itu bukan accident David was a shepherd. Ya kan? Itu bukan accident juga he was sent by his father to meet his brothers. It wasn't accident as well. Dia di situ, dia dengar Goliath punya taunting and defiance against God of Israel. Itu juga bukan accident he was the one who volunteered to fight Goliath. It wasn't by accident he won the battle. Sorry, repetitive ini. Cuman this is the point. It was all providential. Providentialnya Tuhan. What God has sought David to be. You see, all those times, all those bears, all those lions, dia udah fought to protect the sheep. It was all part of God's plan. Masalahnya, karena punya experience, kita juga takut fight sama bear sama lion ya. Sometimes kita nggak mau fight sama lion sama bear. Cuman masalahnya ada ini tempat yang kayak begini. Tuhan bawa kita to gently lead us to learn certain things for the future. I don't know apa gimana itu, cuma experience aku di sini. Aku main piano, tadinya nggak mau main piano, cuman mama disuruh latihan terus ya gimana. Cuman sampai tahun yang lain, udah berapa lama lagi baru nggak like bisa pakai semuanya. Kayak begitu masa depan. Nah, itu cuma kayak sampelnya cuma kayak itu aja lah, apa sih namanya, cuma biasa aja, sederhana. Cuman this is a clear example. He was fighting bears and lions all the way up to this point. Cuman what prepared David to be the kind of king that God wants him to be. In the same way, it's not accident kalian di mana aja kalian. Aku nggak tahu kan cerita kalian. Eksekutif atau apa? It's not by accident that you are here today. It's not by accident that you're going through whatever it is that you're going through. God still has a purpose for you. Remember David. God has his fingerprints all over David. And I think God has fingerprints all over us too. Even in our history that seems dark, atau kayak susah dieksplanasi gitu. Even David knew that the purpose of the battle was not to prove that he could defeat a giant, nor was it to prove that we can defeat ours. Nah, ini lebih beda. But it's to reveal God's desire to save us. Jadi David tahu itu the purpose of the battle bukan cuma proof dia bisa fight Goliath atau cuma kita bisa proof kita punya battles kita. But it's to show the world God wants to save other people than us. He wants to save others through us. Our unique story, because I know kalian unik semua ini. Yeah, I can give you illustration, but everyone's unique. I know everyone has their own battles, and I don't know all of your stories. I may not know all your stories, but you know your battles. So my encouragement is only this: don't fight your battles on your own. God really wants to fight those battles for you. If kalau kita would pay closer attention to God's presence every day, if we remember His power in our history, and we'll catch a glimpse of His purpose before us, in front of us. And for that, I would say we don't even. It's not about us facing the giants anymore. Yes, but we can crush those giants. More importantly, by God's grace, yeah, that we face. To me, these are some examples of giants di Amerika. Mungkin bisa kalian relate, ya. When someone says you can't work this marriage out, siapa yang married di sini? Cuma sebagian kan? Nah, mungkin nggak lagi masalah. Cuman kalau when you hear these things in your head, you can't work this marriage out. You're not worthy to be forgiven. Kayak udah bikin masalah beyond past forgiveness. Kayak story of Esau. You know Esau? The sad part of that story is that he thought he was beyond forgiven. Don't think you are beyond forgiven. These are also giants. You're not good enough. When you hear those things, bagus, mesti liatin apa gitu, biar kebanyakan. And when you hear these things too, you can't overcome those addictions. You can. To me, these are the giants that people hear, that sometimes we don't want to mention. We can overcome through the blood of the Lamb. Bisa? Itu nggak perlu translate.
Ya, kita bisa menang itu melalui darah Kristus.
Yes.
Kita bisa menang.
We have to claim it.
Kita klaim janji itu untuk
we must remember that the promise that God will never leave us nor forsake us. We must claim that as well. The good news is that Jesus has already defeated all his giants when he said yes to the cross. He had overcome this world. And let me close with this verse. Kalian udah tahu Filipi 2. Oh, itu juga. 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But the first one, the earlier chapter, Filipi 2, he who was in the form of God, verse apa itu? 9 atau dia yang di formnya Tuhan. Filipi 2, ada yang bisa baca?
Itulah sebabnya Allah sampai ke dia mengerjakan perintah dari sana. Filipi 2 ayat 10 ya.
No, 7 apa? 6 kali. 6 ke 9 kan? Nggak salah. Aku bisa bahasa Inggris ya, cuman pengen tahu bahasa Indonesia. He who was in the form of God did not count equality with God that things to be
That's
grasped.
verse 6. That's verse 6. Yang walaupun dalam rupa Allah tidak menganggap kesetaraan dengan Allah itu sebagai milik yang harus dipertahankan. That's verse 6.
Continue.
Verse 7. Melainkan telah mengosongkan dirinya sendiri dan mengambil rupa seorang hamba dan menjadi sama dengan manusia. Dan dalam keadaan sebagai manusia ia telah merendahkan dirinya dan taat sampai mati, sampai mati di kayu salib.
Sampai di kayu salib. That's our example yang kita have to follow. Now that frees us, gives us the freedom to say yes to God. The question is, what do we need to say yes to today? That's it. What do we need to say yes to today? To God. Apa yang masalahnya dibawa sama Tuhan. He can fight those battles. He can crush those giants. Our unique story is unique. It's our story still. But it's footprints of God in working in our lives. Sorry kelamaan, cuman aku cerita belajar ke Bible ini cuma terawatin aplikasinya. So I hope you remember those three. God's power behind us, God's presence inside us, and God's purpose before us. we have to remember that He's continually working in our lives. When we do so, we can have victory through Him. That's my prayer. Amen. We can sing about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what song. I suggest. Oh, sorry. Atau berani apa?
Mungkin ada yang mau didiskusikan.
Oh ya, boleh diskusi. Ya. Sorry.
Ada yang mau tanya, question. Yes.
Ya.
Tentang David dan Goliath.
Ya.
Mau tanya, pada saat David sebelum dia maju melawan Goliath, pada saat ketika dia maju berperang melawan Goliath, dan ketika dia sudah mengalahkan Goliath, ada nggak sih sedikit rasa kesombongan dari dia bahwa kadang kita before we facing the problem, when we face the problem, after we solve the problem, sometimes we becoming so confident, so snob that sometimes we forget that all is because of God. Then how to?
That's really good. My answer, jawabnya, I don't know. I wasn't there for David, but you just made the application so well there. Sometimes when you face and you conquer it, you win. Do you remember your part in it, or do you remember God's part in it? Okay? Yang aku cuma bisa bilang aja, komennya ini aja. Whatever doesn't turn to praise, it turns into pride. Itu yang bisa buat aku cuma refleksi aja. Aku mesti it can't be left unchecked. Kita apa sih namanya? Mesti dicek terus buat kita individual. Karena kalau nggak hati-hati, itu pride bisa eat us up. Pride itu masalah. I mean, there's a reason why it's a sin. Masalahnya itu kalau nggak itu doang. Kalau nggak bisa ditaruh di pujian Tuhan, kalau ada berapa persen itu bisa it comes down to percentage juga. I don't know. Kayaknya buat experience aku, kalau nggak 100% susah. Ada yang kesipin in our hearts like, yeah, I did it, kayak gitu. Jadi, I don't know. Kalian bilang apa? Agree? Disagree? How do you feel in your experience?
Income, ada comment.
That's just how I feel.
Well, human nature, people will definitely say that's my work. Well, human nature.
Yeah.
Oke, apa namanya? Kenapa kita butuh Alkitab ini untuk membantu kita melihat sebagai patron apapun yang dilakukan itu adalah mencerminkan karakter Allah, kemuliaan Allah. Dan saya pribadi juga kenapa mau belajar Alkitab, karena saya juga tahu kalau saya nggak mengikuti atau mempatroni Yesus, apapun saya achieve itu saya akan rasa itu dari saya sendiri. Contoh, sebenarnya kalau untuk friendly speaking, orang mau jadi banyak uang bekerja aja. Berdoa nggak berdoa mereka pasti dapat duit. That's the rule of the world. You work, you get money. Berdoa nggak berdoa itu urusan Tuhan. Kenapa? Kita bisa lihat the richest man in the world itu bukan orang Kristen atau gak, mungkin banyak atheist mungkin. Tapi kenapa kita perlu balik kepada Tuhan untuk kita mengetahui semuanya itu berasal daripada Tuhan. Dan kalau kita merasa semua itu berasal daripada Tuhan, otomatis kita nggak mencari harta dunia atau apa sebagai suatu hal yang prioritas. Well, kita butuh itu untuk hidup, tapi itu bukan menjadi suatu hal yang perlu kita banggakan kepada orang lain. Kita bisa lihat, kalau saya pribadi melihat contoh, kalau misalnya kita suka posting in social media, let's say, apa sih yang orang posting, yang orang pamerin, itu semua adalah hal achievement yang mereka capai. Buat apa? Mereka menunjukkan who am I. Tapi kalau kita lihat ke Alkitab, kayak Daud nggak pernah bilang saya mengalahkan Goliath, but God wins the Goliath through me gitu kan. Dan Daud juga nggak pernah singgung saya menang lawan Goliath. Orangnya elu-elukan Daud, tapi Daud sendiri tidak pernah menunjukkan bahwa ini adalah pencapaian dia gitu. Dan ini saya rasa pentingnya kita juga kembali kepada basic, kepada Alkitab. Tujuannya untuk satu, supaya mindset kita itu berubah. Well, kita nggak bisa pungkiri kita hidup di dalam dunia yang mencari popularitas, recognition, and everything. Kita bisa harus bilang seperti itu. Tapi itulah pentingnya komunitas seperti ini untuk membantu kita juga melihat bahwa, ataupun Alkitab membantu kita melihat bahwa, well, human nature kita akan mengarah bahwa itu pencapaian saya. Tapi apapun yang kita pelajari, kita harus lihat bahwa yang seperti Pastor Gatra tadi bilang, semua itu adalah Tuhan yang berada di belakang kita dan di samping kita, dan Dia sudah mempersiapkan semua itu di depan kita. Mungkin itu yang saya bisa add ya dari my own experience. Karena achievement, semua kita pasti punya achievement. I have achievement yang saya bisa sombongin. Cuma saya memilih untuk redam itu kenapa? Karena saya tahu itu semua berasal daripada Tuhan. Dan lebih baik saya nggak usah tunjukin itu kepada orang, membuat saya malah sombong gitu. Ya.
Boleh tambahkan? Saya ambil dari sejarah para nabi. Ini jelas pertanyaannya. Ini juga pelajaran buat kita. Kesalahan Daud yang pertama ialah kekurang percayanya kepada Tuhan pada waktu dia berada di Nob. Kenapa dia berada di Nob? Dia dikejar sama siapa? Saul. Jadi dia lupa Jair udah dikalahkan, tapi yang kecil-kecil dia nggak lari kepada siapa? Pada Tuhan. Lalu kesalahan dia yang kedua adalah dia lari kepada Raja Akis. Akis ini Filistin. Gantinya dia lari kepada Tuhan, dia lari kepada siapa lagi? Filistin. Nah, lalu dijelaskan di buku Para Nabi dan Raja. Daud telah menunjukkan tabiatnya yang agung dan nilai moralnya telah menjadi dia disukai oleh bangsa itu. Tetapi apabila ujian datang kepadanya, imannya telah goyang dan kelemahan manusia muncul. Ia melihat dalam dirinya setiap orang lain seorang mata-mata dan seorang pengkhianat. Curiga dia kepada siapa? Orang lain. Di dalam satu keadaan darurat, Daud telah menengadah kepada Tuhan dengan mata iman yang tetap dan telah melenyapkan Raja Filistin itu. Ia percaya kepada Allah, ia pergi atas nama Tuhan. Tetapi apabila ia dikejar-kejar dan dianiaya, kecemasan dan kesusahan hampir-hampir telah menyembunyikan Bapa yang di surga itu dari pandangannya. Jadi dia lupa tuntunan siapa? Tuhan. Kita udah berhasil, jangan takut. Akan banyak keberhasilan yang lain Tuhan berikan. Ya, yang kita takut adalah ada masalah kecil, nggak lari ke Tuhan, lari kepada manusia, lari kepada akal kita, lari kepada apapun. Tapi semuanya harus lari kepada siapa? Kepada Tuhan. Itu yang coba tambahkan.
That's the prophets of kings.
Iya.
Mungkin saya mau nambahin dikit. Banyak orang datang kepada Tuhan untuk mendapatkan berkat itu. Harusnya Daud itu datang kepada Allah sebelum dia mendapatkan berkat itu. Banyak orang kebalik. Oke, itu orang tuh berhasil di spiritual life, diberkati juga di dalam usaha finansialnya. Oke, saya ikut Tuhan. Jadi seperti diiming-iming janji akan yang lain, baru dia ikut Tuhan. Dan sebenarnya kalau kita lihat Alkitab, semuanya itu berdatang pada Tuhan dulu. Dari nol, dari gak ada apa-apanya, dari minus atau bahkan dari debu dan tanah dan gak ada apa-apa. Disitulah dengan dia faithful pada Tuhan, Tuhan berikan berkat kepada mereka. Contoh Abraham sama Allah dulu, baru dikasih berkat. Daud juga, dia dari nol dulu, dari bukan siapa-siapa, tapi mengandalkan Allah, baru jadi berkat. Murid-murid Yesus, let's say. Dari siapa? Dari nelayan yang gak punya apa-apa. Tapi dari situlah berkatnya setelah mereka bersama dengan Yesus. Tapi itu bukan harus menjadi satu formula. Ikut Yesus, berkat itu akan datang dengan sendirinya dengan proporsinya masing-masing. Cuma jangan ikut Yesus dengan iming-iming berkat itu akan menjadi bagian kita. I think itu yang bisa tambahin sih. Don't get it wrong ya.
Mesti bilang yesnya sebelum pada pertama.
Iya.
Jadi kalau dikasih berkat keberhasilan, jangan sombong, hati-hati.
Ya.
Itu aja. Terima kasih. Jangan lupa Tuhan, jangan lupa teman-teman begitu.
Ya.
Makan.
Makan dulu ya. Dulu ya.
Sekarang
Dulu ya. Nggak suka durian ya? Sama buat aku.
ya silakan.
Aku mau nanya, misalnya dia usia banget masih kecil misalnya. Ada nggak sih patokan umur dia itu belum ada dijelasin nggak patokan umurnya Daud saat itu?
Merah-merahan sih. Kalau coverage-nya kurang lebih 16-17 tahun.
That's my guess juga too. I was actually 15 to 17. I was
Dibanding dengan yang lainnya pasti dia paling kecil kan
Oh iya,
dibanding yang
abangnya
lain.
kan maju nomor 1, nomor 2, nomor 6, ada yang lain nomor 7.
I know, kita skip tadi kan soalnya panjang. Dia kan the whole time itu dia pilih abangnya dia disuruh ke David paling kecil. Nggak tahu kecilnya berapa atau
Ya, kurang lebih 16 kemerah-merahan lah masih
that's akan bisa bilang that's us.
merah-merahan
Cuman lebih tua
wajahnya
sedikit.
matanya. Kalau kita udah hitam
Kalau misalnya zaman sekarang kayak gitu ya tiba-tiba kita bayangin tiba-tiba ada anak kecil siapa sih gitu kan itu bisa apa pasti dia bakal nggak bakal di nggak bakal di apa nggak bakal di
dianggap.
iya publish nggak bakal dianggap terus pasti ya kalaupun dia kekeh banget pasti akan melewati beberapa tahapan. Nah pada saat itu David ya kan Daud pada saat itu ada nggak sih kayak kompromi di antara mereka kayak dijelasin di Ellen Jiwa atau di orang lainnya tentang Daud ini?
Kompromi
Maksudnya kenapa dia bisa tiba-tiba mau gitu? Maksudnya kenapa mereka mau terima David untuk berperang maju?
ini kalau kita baca di para raja dan raja, karena dia mau kan itu kan 40 hari itu. Filistin itu datang, ada yang berani lawan 40 hari. Pas dia datang siapa itu? Karena dia ngomong masa nyampe telinga siapa? Saul. Baru Saul panggil gitu ceritanya. Kamu gini, aku kasih tes pakaian perangnya nggak bisa saya nih. Tapi saya akan kalahkan. Itu histori jalan. Jadi nyampe ke Saul gara-gara apa? Dia maju ke depan. Abang bilang kamu ngapain sih balik sana? Itu histori.
Question: Why 5 stones, not 1?
Ada juga Pak Jam.
Ada.
Jadi sebenarnya kalau saya jawab singkatnya sebenarnya ada 5 bersaudara. Jadi 4 batu lagi itu buat abang-abang yang lain.
Kalau just in case dia keluar lagi. Kalau just kayak mau fight semuanya. Ya Titi yang yang long.
Ada 5 giant.
There's a 5 of them, that's why you need to brief.
Oh, there were 5
5
giants.
bersaudara mereka.
Goliat berlima.
Iya, ada siblings. Jadi just in case kalau dia timur punya ininya ada semua.
Gak usah baca Alkitab, baca Google ada juga.
Ya nanti kan itu namanya preparasi kan.
Ada nama-namanya lagi.
Preparasi persiapan.
Oh no, bukan persiapan bro. Jadi kalau kita baca di bukunya bukan persiapan. Bukan, karena Tuhan sudah tentukan. Tapi 5 itu adalah menjadi catatan juga bahwa ada teman-teman saudaranya yang lain. Ada 4 lagi saudaranya siapa? Goliat.
Bukan persiapan.
Disiapkan supaya kalau
Untuk lawannya bukan untuk kalau meleset ya.
Oh iya ya, maksudnya itu persiapan buat 5 ya.
just in
Oh.
case if the brothers,
Iya.
kalau brothers showed up,
Baru
Fotonya bukan dia mau miss.
itu maksudnya aspek.
Yeah. But you know, you have to. He was good at what he's doing.
Iya.
Pengalaman.
Don't get. Yeah, experience sekali.
sniper.
Yeah, it's like it's equivalent to sniper all the time. Like when he hits the bear or lion, he hits it. There's no option. That's us. Yeah.
I think there's one more lesson from it. Well, we can not only faith, but we also have to practice.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah. Sometimes we just hope and pray.
It
But
doesn't
no,
come.
we actually have to put our amen to
Yeah.
it. We actually have to complete it. Yeah.
Jangan takut.
Latihan juga.
Harus latihan.
Kita nggak pernah didik sasarannya. Sudah punya, tapi kalau ada kita membina. We never we never spot the target.
Yeah.
When we facing the target, we just wanna avoid it. Just wanna sneak out and then
Scared.
right.
Ada lagi yang mau ditambahin? See, I like the small group setting because I know you guys have a lot more insights than me. Like kayak gini. Karena the way you read the Bible is differently than I do. I want to hear. So don't be shy. All the introverts. Jangan malu-malu.
Bahwa Tuhan memberi memberikan tanggung jawab besar bukan hanya kepada elders. Dia akan mulai dari umur yang masih muda. Jadi jangan merasa minder, jangan merasa siapa saya ini masih terlalu muda, saya tidak bisa di-involve kepada satu project yang huge project. I'm too young, I might not gonna fit on the kalau project yang besar. Dia tahu seorang muda, tapi Tuhan percayakan dia untuk suatu misi yang luar biasa.
Ya. Kayaknya, pasti terasa kalau sometimes it's hard to accept our circumstances
Kadang-kadang kita susah untuk bisa mengerti situasi kita
and accept them.
dan bisa menerima.
Ya, sometimes kita nggak mau gini. Sometimes kita mau gini, ganti ini. Cuman that's exactly why God put you there to learn those lessons.
Padahal Tuhan memang sudah punya purpose, sudah punya maksud untuk menempatkan kita di situasi itu.
Iya. Kalau gimana aja, kalau susah memang susah. Ya, pastor atau apa, there's a lesson there that God is wanting. The point is there. The point I'm trying to make is you have to learn the lessons. That's the thing.
Yes,
And I feel like that's the thing with me. Like I have to learn this lesson, whether I'm stationed here, jadi pastor di sana atau di mana, jadi pelajar bagus dari mana gitu, mesti di learn semuanya. Jangan resist dia punya lessonnya. Enggak mau kasih tahu. All situations.
Jangan menolak itu sebab Tuhan memberikan pelajaran dan dengan pelajaran itu Tuhan sementara membentuk karakter kita. Ya, sementara kita dibentuk harus seperti tanah liat. Sesuai kita tahu itu waktu apa tanah liat dibentuk kita ceritanya bejana. Ya, kalau itu bejana resist tidak akan bagus. But if kalau itu tanah liat surrender, dia menyerahkan diri, dia akan bisa dibentuk so beautiful. Bentuk sangat bagus.
Mungkin ada yang kali yang mau share punya giant kali. Kalau masih kuliah mungkin nggak terlalu berat kali ya giantnya.
Terus bisa overcome.
Iya. Kalau zaman dulu giantnya orang kuliah hari Sabtu, sekarang hari Sabtu kan udah pada libur, jadi nggak ada pergumulan lagi. Ada mungkin yang kasih sampel kali yang berat atau udah biasa-biasa semuanya.
Hidup udah enak, men.
Iya, dulu kan hari Sabat susah sekali, orang kuliah dokter sampai 10 tahun. Ya, melanggar sabar atau enggak?
Istri aku juga ya nggak bisa bahasa Indonesia sih, cuma dia dulu di force, bukan di force, cuman were you forced to work on Saturday? No, like now it's okay now, but it's only due because of prayer. Dia nggak gampang banget, jadi bilang bisa tanya sahabat, boleh nggak kasih off, terus dikasih terus. Praise God. Yeah, you don't have to work on Sabbath now. I know, but that's not exactly the luxury for everyone. Masalahnya, semuanya nggak bisa dapat itu.
Kalau jalan-jalan giant nggak kira-kira?
Nah, itu dia. Susah. Aku sebelumnya pikiran aku bisa jodoh-jodoh. Cuman kalau after reading more, I know Ellen White doesn't jangan jodoh begitu. Teman aku juga banyak single semua, mereka pastor, semua evangelist, they're all good, really trained evangelists, you know. After talking to them, kami ngomong mereka, their best advice is what I would give to you. Trust in God's timing. Yeah, I don't take it as my advice, but it's really, and a lot of my friends' advice. Yeah.
Yes.
God's timing.
Jangan paksa. Kalau
Dia udah ngomong ini
Itu mah.
Oh, because he mentioned it earlier. One of the giants.
ada waktu Tuhan.
waktu Tuhan. Waktu Tuhan.
Bagus tadi nggak ada yang takutin
Harus gak ditakut.
Let me give me add one more. Aku nggak pernah pikiran mau jadi pastor. Benar, nggak kepikiran. Mau jadinya ada list banyak. Kalau punya testimoni bisa panjang di sini. Cuman mau jadi mungkin engineering, movie music, semuanya. Until I realized I could use all that in God's kingdom. What I'm trying to say is with cari jodoh, kayaknya Tuhan sometimes juga pikirnya beda sama kita. That's for sure. Terus yang kedua, kita punya ekspektasi mesti dibedain. Jadi kita nggak bisa expect mau apa dulu, ceweknya begini atau gimana. Beda. Kan juga dapatnya reach up gitu. Don't explain it to her. But I couldn't find a better person in terms of a person that would help me in ministry. Sekarang kalau aku bilangin, ya bisa aja sama anak-anak ambil cewek-ceweknya, cowok-cowoknya. Itu nggak perlu. Aku nggak bisa pikir dari dulu kan. Tadinya aku pikirnya mau cari istri aja, kerja, gua kerja, udah. Nggak pikiran. Sekarang dia bilang, oh, aku pikir istri buat cewek-cewek, ngomong sama ini. Jadi it's almost like it enhances it. Bahasa dari Indonesia. Dibikin bagus lagi dari yang what I started with. Ngerti ya? God has ada purpose-nya. Kita nggak bisa melihat deh. I would just say that trust the timing, trust the leading.
But also work for it.
Huh?
Also work for it.
Also work for it, yes.
You can just sit down and pray, Lord, send me one, and you won't
Yeah.
get it. That's the fact of life.
Yeah, nggak bisa. Lord, send me one I open my eyes. There's a lot of them.
Angan-angan tempat cendol ntar. Angan-angan tempat cendol tau gak? Tempat cendol, kiranya cendol gua habis. Ini nggak
Jangan kayak Abraham punya ini. The first girl that offers us to drink the
Harus ada juga minta tanda sama.
Kita nggak expert di situ, cuma share aja.
Tapi mungkin belum Giant kali nggak ada yang nanya tadi, baru Bobby doang.
Tapi Giant tadi.
Ya, ini siapa semua single di sini?
Masih kan angkat tangan.
Malu-malu, cuma di banyak.
Banyak cuma malu-malu.
Aku bilang ya, masalahnya ini bukan masalah Jakarta doang. Can I put your thoughts at ease? Ini bukan masalahnya bukan di Indonesia doang. This is global. Can I tell that?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I say that? It's a global thing. So it's okay to be on a slow time. But like I said, trust in God. Semuanya di Amerika. Yeah, but we got married. But like, we're not that young. But no, we're talking about like, a lot of people are married. Yeah. Yes, in older age. Sampai 45 masih single. Jadi, nggak apa-apa. Kenapa? Umur berapa? 50? Enggak serius. Bukan masalah buat di, aku bilang masalah, cuma masalah bukan buat di Indonesia juga. Di semuanya. Sometimes the problemnya ini cuma nggak bisa bikin content, happy sama kita sendiri. Ya aku lihat. Cuman, you have to be a Proverbs 31 woman and man. Nah, teman aku bilang.
But you won't be perfect.
Yeah, you won't be perfect. But if you want a Proverbs 31, apa sih Proverbs?
Amsal.
Kalau mau cari Amsal 31 wanita, sulit. Kamu mesti jadi bisa Amsal 31 laki-laki dulu.
Iya.
Masalahnya. Itu teman aku bilang. Kenal nggak Pastor Anil Kanda? Orang India, also single. Who was one of the funniest preachers I've ever heard. Orang India. Jangan dilihatin. Iya langsung baca. Pasal 31.
Well, according to the case, I'm not expert in that yet. Just to give response. I'm a perfectionist. Yeah, everything has to be perfect. And when I was in uni, I was thinking, I want this type of woman, blah 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 blah. I have a list of that. But then I pray to God. It doesn't mean I don't pray. I pray to God in my uni time because my brother already has a girlfriend. My friend already have a girlfriend. I don't even find one. And I'm trying to look. Okay, the church. Well, this might be potential, but no, it's not perfect for me and everything. Until the day of my graduation, I didn't get any girlfriend. Then I pray to God like this. Okay, Lord, in your time, if you want me to have a partner in life, please give me one, and that's it. I want to courtship with her. That's it, until I get married. I don't want to change it anymore. Then, in God's timing, 2 months afterwards, God showed me from my wife's cousin, which I haven't been talking for such a long time. I think it's about 4 years, 5 years. I haven't contacted her, and she suddenly asked me, "Hey, how are you? I heard you just graduated. Do you have a girlfriend?" The question was straight to the point. Do you have a girlfriend at the moment? I said no. Then, cut the story short, began to have a conversation with my current wife through long distance because she lives in the east of Indonesia. I was in the west of Indonesia, and there's no way to connect each other. But because we both prayed so hard, we both surrendered to God. Somehow God gave at the right timing. Then, asking signs, she went to Jakarta for work. We get along each other. Then we get married. But the thing that I want to show is this: when I want a girlfriend, it doesn't mean I need the girlfriend at that time. I want it, but God might see it. I don't need it. Because at that time, God wants me to focus maybe on the ministry and the university I'm doing at that time. But when God said I'm ready, He provided without my extra effort to find it. So I think the question is that you have to ask: do you only want it because it's the pressure, social pressure that you want a girlfriend or partner, or do you need it to be your lifetime partner? I think that's different. If you want a partner because your age is getting higher in number, then be careful. It doesn't mean you need it. You will just want it. It's social pressure. But God says, okay, God gave Eve to Adam because Adam needs a partner. Not because Adam wants a partner. Adam never requested God, hey, I need Eve. No. God said it's not good for a man to be alone. Then God took the rape of Adam and made Eve because Adam needs a partner. And I think that that's the giant for you. It's true. It might be a giant for us at that particular point. But the question should be raised that: do you need it? If you don't need it, you just want it. I'm sorry to say, God won't give it because it's just creating another problem for you. Maybe you want a career at the moment. You want to focus on your career, but you just want a girlfriend or you want a partner. It won't be like that, in my own opinion. Yeah. Well, I'm not expert. It's just from my own experience.
Because you want it doesn't mean you need it.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at it because you're the jokester.
No, yes, sir.
Perasaan nanya iya.
Oh, udah mau kawin nih.
Mau.
Es cendol? Es noel.
Gimana? Udah terima kasih, Bu.
Masih ada aku ada sedikit yang aku dapat ya dari pelajaran Gatra ini, bahwa dia berani untuk mengambil satu langkah berperan, satu lompatan iman ya, satu kesempatan. Kadang-kadang padahal dalam ketidaksiapan dia ya, secara mata manusia dia belum siap karena masih kecil. Nah kadang-kadang kita juga ada kesempatan, tapi kita kadang-kadang tidak mau
pelayanan. Tapi kadang-kadang kita udah nyaman di comfort zone, jadi kadang kita tidak mau mengambil satu lompatan iman, sehingga kita ya tidak jadinya Tuhan tidak karena tidak mengambil ya Tuhan tidak mau memakai kita sebagai pelayan dia. Nah, aku salutnya sama si David ini bahwa dia berani gitu. Dia tidak memikirkan segala risikonya, cuman oke, saya mau. Dia berani untuk maju. Dan yang pelajaran buat saya adalah ya keberanian David ini ya. Dia tidak memikirkan risikonya, dia hanya percaya sama Tuhan dan dia berhasil. Nah, kita juga mungkin dalam melakukan ministry kita masing-masing, nah, kita juga perlu untuk mengambil satu kesempatan jika ada. Kalau memang kesempatan, kalaupun tidak, maksudnya kita minta menentukan apa yang bisa saya lakukan dalam pelayanan, apa yang bisa saya lakukan baik di gereja ataupun di misi kita masing-masing sendiri jika kita masing-masing, ya, supaya kita memiliki memiliki prosesnya, memiliki pengalaman gitu, memiliki pengalaman berjalan bersama Tuhan, dan itu sangat menguatkan kita untuk supaya kedewasaan iman kita itu makin bertumbuh. Itu karena saya sendiri mengalami ya, karena saya mau dengan ketidaksiapan saya ya, berjalannya dengan waktu saya banyak belajar dan Tuhan memberikan orang-orang yang mau untuk ngajarin saya gitu. Nah itu refleksnya kita sih saya cuma ingatin jadi kalau bisa kita masing-masing, apalagi sih anak muda ya, banyak kesempatan tuh banyak banget pelayanan di Instagram, dan buat diri kita sendiri juga untuk membuat diri kita semakin bertumbuh dalam iman, bukan hanya dalam iman tapi hubungan kita dengan Tuhan dan berjalan bersama Tuhan itu memang luar biasa sih. Kalau misalnya kita dituntut sama Tuhan itu luar biasa sih berkatnya.
Thank you.
Saudara Evan ada
Setuju.
Special song. Special song.
That's the special music. Oh, okay, that's special. Serius?
Di sini nggak pernah bercanda kita.
Bro, ada gitar,
Ya,
bro, tinggal
gitar,
gitar.
gitar. Facing the Giants.
Bercanda. Aduh. Ini apaan?
Sambil dipersiapkan. Sebenarnya lagu yang menyanyikan yang ini enggak mudah. Coba pikirkan. Jadi mengajari kita egois.